Mental health has for so long had such a stigma attached to it. Thankfully, in this more enlightened age, if you like, issues of mental health are not as stigmatised, which I think is so important. Having walked that journey and looked into the chasm, I know how devastating and how damaging it can be. And I think for young people particularly, that stigma has been very, very, very real. So glad it's changed, so glad they can reach out, and I'm so glad that sport is playing a big part in that.
Sport has a fantastic impact on mental health and emotional well-being. When I work with clubs, I ask them, what do you do around mental health? 95% will say nothing. Then I ask them to take a step back and look at it in the context of the Take 5 Steps. So every single club helps people connect with friends, develop experiences. Every single club teaches people new things. Every single club makes an impact on the community beyond the realms of sport. I think during COVID, it was apparent that all the clubs became food banks, distributed packs. When their communities needed them, they stepped up above and beyond. And finally, the best one is to get people active. All the science in the world saying being active is good for your mental health and emotional well-being. And sport clubs are the champions of that.
So I would say the best thing about playing sport, it was meeting new people and making new friends and friendships that will probably last quite a while. And it's also really helped me to improve my mental health and my physical health at the same time. I used to be quite an anxious and shy person, and since playing sport in general, it's made me come out of that shell and overcome those anxieties.
Football helps me get more fit mentally because it just gives me people to talk to and a thing to take my mind off things outside of football.
Off the rugby pitch, sports has just helped so much. Having the support from all the team and the managers and coaches just is so good to have. When you're not playing rugby, you can still phone them up, go have a chat with them, just whatever you need, they'll give you it because you're part of the team and just help you out when you need.
I think in this day and age, sport is so important as it provides the opportunity to raise awareness of key issues facing children and young people within our communities. And also it's important to be able to help our young people, the opportunity to be signposted to help if they were struggling with their mental health. I was involved in the development of a strategic framework called Wellbeing and Sport Action Plan in 2019. We've been able to develop and implement programs there to help clubs, volunteers within clubs, and obviously young people and parents who are engaged in clubs. More work to be done, more investment to be made, but certainly sport is more than playing its part in terms of addressing the area of health and well-being.
I think most clubs, if they find they have a boy or a girl who has a specific issue or a specific problem, they will be able to find someone who can help. They know where to go, and the Ahead of the Game programme formalises that. But there are other ways to do it, and clubs support each other. There's an alliance really through a lot of clubs with an organisation called TAMI, Tackling Mental Health Awareness. There's another alliance on the Ards Peninsula, the Sports Initiative, which is basically suicide prevention through sport. Those sort of organisations are bringing together groups of clubs and getting them to work together and to share good practice with each other. I think that's hugely powerful. And it does get to the point where I think people recognise the issues now more so than they ever did before.
Tackling Awareness of Mental Health Issues is a charity named after my friend Tommy Tucker McLaughlin, who sadly died by suicide in 2009. In 2011, 2 football teams had approached me and wanted to do a project around mental health, and I did it and it worked. In 2012, I linked up with Sported and did a project with 8 clubs called Changemakers in the New Lodge area of North Belfast, and it worked because we've created an approach which is mental wealth games, which champions mental health and emotional well-being through play and sports drills. And what we found is that this is what players, people involved in sport want. They want to go to sport and do sport, so we enable them to do sport through drills with the message integrated. And because of that, because we've stayed true to what we're about, what we're trying to achieve and how we're trying to work with clubs, it's grew. It's an approach that can be taken by any sport group, and we're staying true to that to get that to as many people as possible to raise awareness of mental health and emotional well-being, because we believe in our strapline, we shape, change, and we can stand by the fact that we save lives.